Guys, MaJeliv family here today. We're watching Spider-Man Far From Home. Super exciting stuff. We thought what's the best way to start then see that guy over there? Happens to be our dad. We're gonna go
be Spider-Man.
Show him what Spider-Man This is great. What are we thinking about this movie?
I'm curious to see how the reality of a world without Tony Stark is going to hit Peter Parker. We watched Homecoming recently, and he's such a kid in it at the beginning of that. I mean, he is a kid. He's 15. By the end of it, he grows up a lot really quick, and then he loses his mentor. So I'm very curious to see the demeanor of Peter Parker in this. How he's grown, how he sees his role as a hero now, as an active hero, and I'm sure we'll have humor, we'll have adventure, but I'm very curious to see how he has matured as a character.
Rest in peace, Tony Stark.
Okay, so the re-release of Endgame, I think we were let down as a family. We were extremely excited to maybe get some kind of clues about what was coming. I don't think we got anything new that we weren't expecting already. I love the Stan Lee tribute that they did. So it is a beautiful honor that they did for Stan Lee. So I think I like that. I really was hoping for a little bit more to connect us to what's coming. And I think I could have done without it, to be honest.
I think it was worth it. I think it's going to tie it all together for us. And everything we experienced in Endgame was such an emotional roller coaster. I think it took 3 times to see it so that we can kind of phase out of the big epic stuff. And now we're diving into Spider-Man. Is he the next one to take the reins for Tony Stark? That's my biggest question going into Spider-Man Far From Home. It's supposed to be better than Homecoming, so I think we're all super pumped and excited about that. There's great potential there. We love Tom Holland as Spider-Man. Absolutely love him. He's just spot on, perfect for him, for the character of Spider-Man. And we're just gonna jump in and have a blast with this movie.
Go glasses.
Oh boy.
Okay.
I loved it. I thought it was amazing. It was really funny. The story was really cool. There was like a certain point where you didn't even know what was gonna happen. Like there's so many unexpected parts.
There's not much we can say without spoiling a lot of the movie.
I did find myself more pleased with the movie at the very, 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 very post-credits end. I can't say that at the beginning of the movie I was very thrilled with what I was watching. I was actually very concerned. And for the first time in my history with Marvel, I was taken aback that I was going to be disappointed. But no, absolutely not. In fact, I'm just like, I'm caught in all this. I'm trying to figure out how not to spoil this for you guys, so I'm just going to pass it on and let the ladies talk about it.
My mind was blown. I loved it. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I had a few concerns, but they were clarified after, and I didn't feel the concerns anymore.
Yeah, me too.
I loved the landscape of it. Not the landscape, but the ambitious travel, the Europe presence.
It was really cool.
The storyline of, Peter Parker and his friends getting to know MJ better, which I loved. I really wanted to see that.
That was really
flourish.
Cool. I loved that.
Very believable, without giving you spoilers, because I really want to. I loved it. I really did.
Yeah, what about you, Josh?
Visually stunning. It was so crazy. The action sequences were amazing. The acting was great. Overall, it was a great film. You guys should go see it for sure. I found myself enjoying it, and I'm pretty sure my family did too.
Yeah, to kind of add to him, I love the movie, a great sequel to Spider-Man's story. I can definitely feel like Sony had more say in this movie. But Jake Gyllenhaal was amazing as a character, as a new character. He just killed it. He has such complex complex motives, so many complex like just his whole character as a whole. Super well done. Loved it. The reason this movie felt so awkward, because it did feel awkward for me as well, kind of like my dad, was because Tony Stark is so absent. The beginning of the movie was very go, go, go because of the things that they had to cover. It's a little weird because Tony Stark is gone and because they're moving on, so everything feels new and unfamiliar. But yeah, I mean, they're going up in the parallels between the beginning of the saga and the ending, and to see where Iron Man was and now Peter Parker kind of filling in those shoes, in a sense, without spoiling anything. It's really exciting. Okay, so we can't continue our spoilers. So all of you that haven't seen the movie, that don't want any spoilers, man, now's your time to get off. We hope you enjoyed the non-spoiler section. If you guys are new to this channel, welcome to the family. We're the MaJeliv family. We like to make a bunch of creative, fun videos together, and this is just a lot of what we do. So if you're new, like down below, comment down below, subscribe, and we'll hit the notification bell.
Let's give him a countdown. Let's give him a countdown.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, spoilers.
Woo! All right, spoiler section. I have a lot to say, so I'm glad you are still with us. If you've come this far, you are ready to hear all the juiciness of this movie. We started talking about some expectations that we had about MJ and Peter Parker, and I absolutely loved how she just dropped the bomb on him that she knew that he was Spider-Man. I wasn't surprised about that because how awesome is it in Homecoming that we see this girl that we don't know her name for the longest time, but we can see that she's observing his life and she's observing the pattern of which is clear that he keeps disappearing. So that part of the movie I absolutely loved. There's a lot of things in this movie that I loved and a lot of things that I quite frankly did not like at the very beginning. The very beginning of this film was extremely confusing. I did not believe that Nick Fury could be so gullible and so easily deceived by Mysterio, who we come to find out is a master of illusion. I absolutely loved that they tied it back to Civil War. Is that what you guys were saying? Yeah, I think it's the hologram effect of Civil War. Yeah. So I loved all of those tyings to the past films, but I just could not believe and I would not accept that Nick Fury was going to be pulled the veil over his eyes, so to speak. So no, I was struggling to accept this. I was struggling to accept a lot of that portion of the film. So it made it very difficult for me to enjoy it until the very, very, very end. Post credits, come to find out it's the Skrulls. They're posing as Nick Fury and Agent Hill. Sorry. I mean, absolutely brilliant. At that point, I'm like, okay, this makes sense. I want to go back and watch this movie. So here's my final note about this movie. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. I loved that we watched a teenage boy struggle to become a man and a leader. I'm very curious to see where this is going to go for Peter Parker. I'm very excited to see what could become the legacy that he takes on. One great moment in the film is when he starts, we see kind of like a revisiting of when Tony Stark was building his suit. And so that's me. I give this movie 5 stars. It didn't start off that way. I was about to give it 2.5 because it was like, what's going on here? I don't believe any of this. 5 stars. Amazing stuff.
Jake Gyllenhaal, he did a great job at playing a good guy in the beginning of the film. I know my brother told me, the one that is recording right now, he told me that he's bad in the comics, which he is. I almost got to a point of believing that he was good because I feel like everybody would know that he's bad, but as the movie progresses, you start like believing him along with Peter Parker, who actually believes him from the start. So he was a great villain.
That drone stuff is scary. Like, it's kind of crazy because like drones are pretty crazy now in this future. But
Yeah.
I love the parts where Peter's in the hologram. It felt like Inception at some points where you didn't know what was real or what wasn't.
It seemed like this movie was Peter Parker fighting Tony Stark's enemies, kind of closing that up. Like there was people who were envious of him, of his technology, what power they could have had that Tony took from them. I feel like now he's gonna face his own villains, people that are out to get him for his power. He's a lot more powerful now. He believes in himself more. He's more mature. Now he has higher stakes because he loves MJ. So I think it's about to go a whole different direction, which is what I think this movie did. I really think it tied up the end of Tony Stark's, genre. I mean, not genre, but generation. And now it's moving into a new. And I love the feel of the Bugle and the news.
Yes,
and
I love that. That was so good.
So I'm excited about that. I was very thrown off by the scrolls at the end. I don't know what they're trying to do with that.
I don't know.
Avengers Secret Wars. I'm sure you comic book fans know about that one.
Okay, guys, so that was our generic spoiler talk of Spider-Man Far From Home. Overall, just an amazing, awesome new installment to all of the MCU. It's a super fun time, really exciting stuff coming. Let us know what you guys expected, what you saw, what you were excited about, what theories you guys have, just all of it. Let us know down below. Like this video, if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell to get the next video coming right your way. But yeah, guys, thanks for sticking with us. Spread your light, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.